Hello everyone, new video at cryptoacademy.ae. In today's video we are going to continue talking about Bitcoin, Litecoin and Solana. So for Bitcoin on the 4 hours time frame, nothing happened yet, so we still just going in this range sideways. It's like a washing machine, especially if we go on a smaller time frame, 15 minutes. We have seen some madness here, like some volatility happening here. We have seen a pump, like trying to escape this range again, but eventually before the market opens everything went down, or sorry, after the market opens everything went down. And just tell you something, guys, when you see the market opens and the only thing that you see in the beginning is just a pump, like let's say the 5 minutes or 10 minutes, the first 10 minutes you see a pump. Usually what happens after this pump, it goes even lower than the beginning of the pump. So nothing happened, nothing to mention about Bitcoin yet. Probably in the next days we are going to see some type of capitulation again to 63 and then 60k. Then eventually is the trend lines that I talked about, or the demand zones, at least this 48 to 50k. So for example, we are here, as you can see. For example, here we have seen, like, let's say 3 weeks or 4 weeks of price action in this range until we had another capitulation. Same thing can happen, by the way. Now we are in the 3rd week, so probably this week or the week after we will have another capitulation, if it happens, of course. There is nothing guaranteed, but as I told you and I have been telling you for a long time, this is what I see Bitcoin going to, these levels, to 50k at least. This is the scenario that waiting for, and the worst case scenario I believe is to hit 38k. If this doesn't hold this swing low, as you can see here, we are probably going to visit this cluster which I talked about in the last videos. Anyway, nothing to talk about in Bitcoin since we are trading in this range. I told you this is internal range. When you have an internal range, everything is just irrelevant. So we can see another drop to the range lows down here, 63k as I said, then test again 60, then we go lower, or probably from here we can make some type of double bottom and we retrace to these levels again, to the high range, to the range highs at 80k, and this is the turning point. If we get rejected from 80k, we go down. If we break, we have to build a base up here, then we continue higher, but most likely I'm seeing a dump more. Could be wrong, I've been wrong so many times, but this is what I see for now. And now let's just go to Litecoin. So Litecoin on the daily time frame, I remember when I first started recording on this channel, I said this is the best entry for Litecoin, around $40 to $39, this zone, which is a demand zone. And as you can see, each time we get to these levels, we see some type of action from there, or some type of reaction, sorry, and we go up. So I'm expecting another thing here. And by the way, guys, there is something you can rely on sometimes. The more you test a support, okay, the more it becomes weaker. For example, in this scenario, we tested once, second, we went high. Then when we are testing here, as you can see, the reaction is not as high as this one, so it's getting weaker. So probably if we are going to test, we are going to see some type of reaction here, and we just get a retracement, then we continue down, and this will be the ultimate entry points at this level. Let's say this last swing low here, $29, or even less. If we go on the weekly, we can see that probably we are going to visit these lows again, $22, $23, and this is actually what I believe is a good entry point to at least accumulate in this asset. Then you wait for the bull run to come, if it ever comes. Anyway, now let's jump to Solana. So my last video on Solana was giving you this entry point. It was from $79 to $65, and we actually went to $68. So this was the cluster, or the order block. I was hoping that Solana at least makes some type of retracement to this level, which is a supply zone from here, and we get something like this. We are going to wait. If we get some type of reaction here, yeah, Like most of the time, we at least get another reaction up here to this level, to 93k. If we lose this, we are going to this level here, $51. Why I said this? Because it's the start of the fair value gap, and it's the last swing low here. So we could even hit this level at $51 to $45. If not, this is your entry point here, starting from here to here, this cluster. And you know, the Solana chart usually is so easy to read, because as you can see, this is cluster, all of it. Even if you can carry from here and you go down here, this is your entry point for Solana. Of course, waiting for a bigger percentage. But if you want to stay conservative, like you can see, put here, for example, you enter here in the middle of the range, then you put stop loss here, $17. If it goes lower, you are a buyer at these order block, $11, $12. But this can take a month or 2 months to happen if we don't get a reaction up. So this is what I think would happen to both Solana and Litecoin. The Bitcoin, nothing special. So don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends, and see you in the next one.